Welcome to the Lowry Writes Everyday Mom Challenge channel. Today we are in chapter 8. All right, so chapter 8 of this family devotional that is going to not only bring you closer to Jesus and reflect and have journaling opportunities, but just to build some fun family activity time with your home at this time. It's just a perfect opportunity for us to take this time as we're being still. To not only call upon the name of the Lord, but to just draw our children in closer to us. So we're at challenge 8. If you're just picking up this video for the first time, like I say at the beginning of all of these videos, please stop this one and go back to chapter 1 so you can get our whys, you can get the reasons why we're doing this challenge devotional to start with, to understand how important it is for us to be able to continue to build relationships with our children throughout all of the stages in their life. So, challenge 8. This one, especially for times like these, I find it to be really comforting to see how my children have stepped up. Because as you guys know, Everyday Mom Challenge has been around since 2014. And so as I'm reading these, I'm just now flooded with a ton more memories than just where I was at this place. Okay, so here are that. Dinners can often be fast and easy in our house due to our hectic schedules. We have after-school activities that can take us away from sitting together in a relaxed atmosphere, because once we move from that, then we move into our homeschool in the evenings. We've done drive-through nights or Stouffer's lasagna nights. But there is a planned special kind of night when we spend time together in the kitchen trying out a new recipe from our favorite online sites, or we pull out a family favorite. I could spend countless pages telling stories of memories made in the kitchen of my home. So back a long time ago, my son, especially my oldest son, loved to cook. Well, now my baby, he's 12, but I call him a little. My little has stepped up to the plate, and he enjoys spending time in the kitchen with me. So now I'm speaking for both of my boys at this point. We have shared many evenings preparing meals for our family. There is accomplishment that goes with cooking a meal to share with others. So my baby has downloaded a recipe app. He loves the Tasty app. They will send me recipes from Tasty, and I'll post it on my Pinterest page. So I have a Pinterest page, Jen Lowry Writes. You guys can go over and follow my boards, and you'll get to see some of the really good recipes that we try as a family, and I keep the ones on there that are really good, so that way you guys can have access to some really good recipes. We also love watching YouTube recipes. We watch Sam the Cooking Guy, we watch the Hillbilly Kitchen, oh my gosh, Kurt Rollins, the Cowboy Kitchen, I think it's the name of his. We love watching YouTubers when they cook. So we do that as well, and we save those recipes online. Okay, so see, that's not in the book. That's why you watch these videos, and then if you download the ebook or you get a copy of the book, you're like, wait, she's just talking. Okay. So both contribute and always ask, can they help? Well, now, because we're in our time together at home in our isolation here, I will always text the boys from downstairs and say, okay, I'm getting ready to cook. Would you guys love to help? And if they're in the middle of gameplay with their friends, or if they're talking to their cousin or something like that, they may say, well, I'm talking right now, and they may not. But pretty much 9 times out of 10, they come down and they're helping me in the kitchen. So we're spending a lot more time in the kitchen. And I'm doing weekly desserts now, which I don't know if that's a good thing. It's a tasty thing. But that's also getting us to spend more time separate from just meal prep. We're doing desserts too. Okay, so while we're doing this, we're training our children for independence and how to care for themselves and others when they leave our homes. And that also includes them watching me doing food to go items. So I do not go into the grocery stores I'm doing food to go, and I'm also doing Amazon Fresh. So by me doing these things, they're actually watching how I'm preparing our list out, and they are contributing to these lists. So they're doing the digital ordering with me. I'm having them to check pantries of what stock we have, and then us problem solving out in advance. I'm keeping a menu on the side of the refrigerator. I've been doing that for a long time because they always ask what's for dinner. So I have it charted up already, and sometimes we'll move it around according to what we feel like for that day. But we pretty much buy for a week at a time. Well, now we're a week ahead because we're very limited on what we can get. So I'm trying to piece together the best that we can right now. So in times like these, I'm teaching the kids how to take a small amount of ingredients that we do get and how we can find them, but putting them in still for healthy meals or meals that we enjoy, and not to mention the desserts. Okay, so I had to add that in there, sorry. So there are so many ways to accept this challenge. So decide what is right for you and your family. And when you are sitting together around the table, it is also wise to enforce the no electronics rule at dinner. So this allows your children an opportunity to see that meals are meant for sharing and talking and spending time together. And if we do use our phone, it is to add to the discussion. So if we are talking about something, but we can't remember the exact source or something like that, we'll pull it up and we'll share it or something like that, or show a picture of something. Sometimes the dinner table might be the closest conversations that we might have with our children that day, especially with activities and homework, and especially when we're on the go so much. That can change just based on our situation. The days you do have a chance to cook with your children will be special for the both of you. And trust me, it does my heart some good. I do believe that teaching our children how to use different planning techniques is powerful for them in their future. Like for example, when we have like busy days or just days throughout the week, we'll always plan crock pot meals together. The kids love trying new recipes, the boys do. The boys are always about trying new recipes. And so I think that that is a great literary skill too, for them to be able to go out for literacy, to be able to go out and find different recipes, look through ingredients. It's all math. So it's such a homeschool thing, but it's a life thing. So I really challenge you guys to let your kids help you with the meal planning process. Because that's going to bring value to them later. And who knows, not only it's not about them becoming chefs. I mean, you may have a child in your home that is going to become a chef, but they're going to be providing for their families one day, not just the financial responsibility that it takes to meal prep and plan. We know that as moms right now, but it's the whole atmosphere of the dinner. So we want to make sure that we're promoting that positivity, so that way they model it and then they can have it when they're grown up. Okay, so I'm going to read a Bible verse for you guys that kind of has driven me throughout my life, as I love some Proverbs 31. You can go and just read Proverbs 31 and reflect on that verse alone. My mom, in her handwriting, she did a Bible study on Proverbs 31, and I still have it in the Bible. But this one is specifically Proverbs 31:15. She gets up while it is still night. She provides food for her family and portions for her female servants. Challenge. You know what it is. Cook with your kids or let them cook for you. Each child can contribute to the meal planning, preparation, and serving. So now I'm going to give you 7 tips. Okay, so I might expound on some of these, or I might just read them out. Number 1, set up a special table setting with random items around your house. Yes, you can just go pull some random things. It'd be fun. Number 2, create table settings with special note cards that can have a quote, a question, answer, a sweet memory, or a Bible verse for each family member. Or you could just have like word association games. You can change this up, and that builds for literacy too. Number 3, take pics of your cooking adventures and make a digital cookbook with copies of their recipes, and you can give it as a going away present when they move out of your home. So that would be really cool. Build a family recipe book. My math teacher, she shared with me a recipe of a pound cake out of her family recipe book. I loved it so much. My nieces and I, we did a family cookbook and we shared it. We put it in a 3-prong folder, and we gave it out at Christmas for Christmas presents. So that would be something really cool that you could do with your family during this time. Number 4, set up a cooking schedule if you have multiple children. So each child gets a special night to cook dinner as the main chef, and then the other children can be like sous chefs and assistants and things like that. Number 5, you can design aprons together, and we did this. It was fun. Number 6, you can play music and sing along when you're in the kitchen while you work. You can make YouTube videos, and you can share out YouTube videos with your family. Number 7, you can set up a dinner show where your children and you can provide entertainment. And we don't need fancy dinner show tickets when we can have our own little comedians in the house. All right, so now we're at our point in the devotional, the "But Why Mom" piece. If your kids ask why this challenge is so important, tell them about Martha and Mary. Describe the scene of the house, how it wouldn't have been much different from your own home preparing for strangers or guests or people coming into your home to eat, just without all of the latest gadgets and technology. Tell them how Martha was busy serving and taking care of guests, and Mary was sitting at the foot of Jesus listening to him speak. Remind them that there is a time to prepare and serve others, but something we must not neglect is the care that we can give to one another by listening, and our time spent with each other is like food for our soul. And you can read Luke 10:38-42 together. All right, so here's your journal time. And now we're at this place. How was your cooking experience, and what made your night special? All right, I would love it if you could share your recipes with me. You can email me at jenlowrywrites@gmail.com, and I could share them out on my Pinterest page too. And I hope that you have fun with this challenge. This is one thing that I've been doing a long time with my boys, and absolutely love that time that we get to spend together. So I hope that you guys have a blessed day, and I'll check you out later. I hear noise, and then my child's up. I think it's my child, and it is. It is my sweetheart, and he's in there making coffee. So I'm going to check you guys out later, and y'all have a blessed one.